Welcome, everyone. Please be seated. I'm Bob Golden, Dean of the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health. I want to thank everyone for joining us for this joyful celebration of our MD class of 2023. It is wonderful to be together here in beautiful Shannon Hall. I also want to welcome those tuning in to our virtual live stream from across the globe. For those who may need or prefer it, closed captioning is available in the live stream, and assisted listening devices are available here from an usher. I am filled with excitement and joy to be celebrating the graduation of this remarkable and talented group of medical students. I have been inspired by your capacity to embrace new challenges and to quickly incorporate new ways of thinking, acting, learning, and caring for your patients and for each other. Your eagerness to learn and grow will serve you well as you transition into the next vitally important stage of your professional development. I am joined this morning by administrative leaders, faculty, and the chairs and representatives of our school's departments. Will members of the platform party please stand when I call your name and remain standing? Please hold your applause until everyone has been recognized. In the first row, Dr. Guinevere McIntosh, our Associate Dean for Students. Dr. Shobina Cheda, Associate Dean for Medical Education. Dr. Christine Seibert, Associate Dean for Medical Student Education and Services. Dr. Sam Lubner, Associate Professor of Medicine and today's faculty speaker. Dr. Elizabeth Petty, Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs. Dr. Jason Stevenson, Associate Dean for Multicultural Affairs for Health Profession Learners. Dr. Kyla Lee, President of the Wisconsin Medical Alumni Association. In the second row, Dr. Alan Brazier, Senior Associate Dean for Clinical and Translational Research. Dr. Jonathan Tempte, Associate Dean for Public Health and Community Engagement. Dr. Dawn Elfenbein, Associate Professor of Surgery and serving as a faculty hooder today. Dr. Maxfield Flynn, Assistant Professor of Medicine, also serving as a faculty hooder. Dr. Peter Newcomer, Senior Associate Dean for Clinical Affairs. Dr. Benjamin Jarman, Associate Dean for the Gunderston Health System, Western Academic Campus. Dr. Matthew Jansen, Associate Dean for the Marshfield Clinic Health System, Northern Academic Campus. Dr. Nasser Lubegai, today's student speaker. And in the third row, Dr. Kelly McQueen, Chair of the Department of Anesthesiology. Dr. Patricia Kiley, Chair of the Department of Biomolecular Chemistry. Dr. Michael Newton, Chair of the Department of Biostatistics and Medical Informatics. Dr. Deneen Wellick, Chair of the Department of Cell and Regenerative Biology. Dr. Beth Drolet, Chair of the Department of Dermatology. Dr. Jennifer Edgoose, Executive Vice Chair of the Department of Family Medicine and Community Health. Dr. Mary Westergaard, Vice Chair of Education of the Burby Walsh Department of Emergency Medicine. Dr. Paul Harari, Chair of the Department of Human Oncology. Dr. Francisco Pellegri, Chair of the Department of Medical Genetics. Dr. Richard Keller, Interim Chair of the Department of Medical History and Bioethics. Dr. Vanessa Sperandio, Chair of the Department of Medical Microbiology and Immunology. Dr. Lynn Schnapp, Chair of the Department of Medicine. Dr. Robert Dempsey, Chair of the Department of Neurological Surgery. And in our fourth row, Dr. Kathleen Shannon, Chair of the Department of Neurology. Dr. Eric Dent, Interim Chair of the Department of Neuroscience. Dr. Lisa Barrelet, Associate Professor in the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dr. Paul Lambert, Chair of the Department of Oncology. Dr. Curtis Brandt, Vice Chair for Research of the Department of Ophthalmology and Visual Sciences. Dr. Tamara Scarpella, Interim Chair of the Department of Orthopedics and Rehabilitation. Dr. Eric Ranheim, Chair of the Department of Pathology and Laboratory Medicine. Dr. Sabrina Butteris, Vice Chair of the Clinical Affairs of the Department of Pediatrics. Dr. Maureen Durkin, Chair of the Department of Population Health Sciences. Dr. Art Walasek, Vice Chair for Education and Faculty Development of the Department of Psychiatry. Dr. Thomas Grist, Chair of the Department of Radiology. Dr. Rebecca Minter, Chair of the Department of Surgery. Dr. Stephen Nakata, Chair of the Department of Urology. Not all of our leaders are on stage with us today. We are also joined by our faculty marshals who led the graduating student processional. Director of the Medical Sciences Training Program, Dr. Alexis Eastman, Associate Professor in the Department of Medicine, Dr. Joseph Holt, Director of the Wisconsin Academy for Rural Medicine, Dr. Kirsty Knox, Director of the Training in Urban Medicine and Public Health Program, Dr. Elaine Pelly, Director of Phase 1 of our MD curriculum, Dr. Ajay Sethi, Director of the Master of Public Health Program, Dr. Kathy Stewart, Director of Phase 2 and 3 of our MD curriculum, Dr. Sarah Traynor, Anatomy Teaching Faculty. This is a true dream team of incredibly dedicated academic leaders and teachers who work tirelessly to provide our students the opportunity to achieve their full potential during their time with us. Please join me in recognizing these outstanding leaders. Today, we are celebrating the graduation of a very special group of students. You were forged in the crucible of COVID-19. Most of you were in the earliest phase of your medical student experience when the deadliest pandemic of the century suddenly erupted. All of you were profoundly affected by it. What lessons did we learn from this brutal teacher? Well, we learned the answer to the trick question: what's most important, medicine or public health? The answer: both. Simple public health measures, such as masking, hand washing, and social distancing, helped us gain precious time while we developed vaccines and effective medical treatments. Without a strong public health system to provide widespread, equitable distribution of vaccines and treatments, it would have been very limited. The most sophisticated vaccines will not work if they are not administered. We must always focus on both the patient and the population, with special emphasis on people and communities where disparities exist and vulnerabilities are the greatest. We also learned the vital importance of communication. If there is a vacuum of thoughtfully crafted messaging and accurate information, that void will rapidly fill with falsehoods and misinformation, eagerly provided by those with their own agendas. The medical and scientific community must not be arrogant. We should listen and learn from our patients and our communities so that we can understand their greatest concerns and fears. We must respond respectfully and with humility, readily admitting when we don't yet have enough data to provide definitive responses, distinguishing between evidence-based answers versus informed but uncertain speculation. We certainly learned the incredible value of community. Throughout the pandemic, so many communities came together, helping those in need, providing support for each other. I want to thank today's graduates for your efforts to sustain your community as a class and for your contributions to the broader SMPH community. I will always be grateful, in awe, of the faculty and staff of the school and UW Health who served in critically important roles in the early, terrifying days of the pandemic. Their brave, unselfish dedication to our patient community was truly heroic. And isn't it great that today we can gather again here in Shannon Hall in person? We will never again take for granted the joy of community celebration. Other epidemics and unnatural disasters occurred during your years here, and these will also leave an indelible mark on our collective consciousness. After centuries of structural racism in our country that sometimes hid in the shadows, the murder of George Floyd and far too many similar events focused a glaring, painful light on the deadly epidemic of racism that feeds the health disparities and health inequities that are rampant in many communities of color. Gun violence continues to cause death and morbidities to an extent not seen in other parts of the world. Childhood mortality has increased in the past few years at the greatest pace of the past half century, and gun-related deaths represent the largest share of that increase. Elected and appointed public officials with no clinical background are dictating the practice of medicine and interfering with the doctor-patient relationship. What does this mean for you, our new graduates? To paraphrase an ancient curse, may you practice medicine in interesting times. Now, please remember, this curse is also a blessing. There has never been a more exciting time to enter the field of medicine. Our understanding of health and illness, from the molecule to the cell, from the organ to the person, and from the individual to the population, continues to grow at a dizzying pace. The complete physician of today and tomorrow will focus on the social determinants of health, as well as the intervening biological variables that transduce those factors into molecular and cellular events that shape the experiences of people and communities. Collectively and individually, you will shape the future of medicine and health. How exciting is that? I'd like to share with you some predictions about your future with some hesitancy, since predicting the future is risky business. In 1883, for example, Lord Kelvin, the president of the Royal Society in London, made the following prediction about what was then a hot new technology. He said, quote, "X-rays will prove to be a hoax." I want to reassure those of you who matched in radiology that he is completely off the mark. More recently, and closer to home, last June, Aaron Rodgers predicted that he would finish his career while playing for the Green Bay Packers. So nonetheless, I feel reasonably confident in sharing with you the following predictions of mine. Number one, you will demonstrate outstanding preparation for the next phase in your professional development, your residency training. Number two, despite your outstanding preparation, you will feel very nervous during your first week of residency, and even more nervous your first night on call. Number three, over the course of your professional life, you will instinctively integrate the perspectives of medicine and public health. Number four, you will embrace the continuous, remarkable evolution of science and technology in your clinical work, always with a strong foundation of humanism, primarily focusing not on that latest technology, but rather on the person whose care can benefit from technology. In that regard, I want to reassure you that these comments were not generated by ChatGPT, but rather come straight from the heart. Finally, I predict without any hesitancy that you will have an incredible impact on the lives of countless patients, their families, and their communities. So congratulations, graduates, on Wisconsin. I am now really honored to introduce our keynote faculty speaker, Dr. Sam Lubner, Associate Professor of Medicine, who was selected by today's graduates. He is a dedicated, compassionate oncologist and a truly outstanding teacher and mentor. Dr. Lubner is remarkably talented in blending the art and science of medicine in his practice and in his teaching. He is a doctor's doctor, the kind of physician any of us would want to have care for us or our family. And he is an inspirational teacher. On top of that, if we had an award for the best comedian among our faculty, he would definitely win it. Dr. Lubner graduated from Princeton University and our School of Medicine and Public Health, serving as the student speaker at his MD graduate recognition ceremony. After completing his medicine residency at Washington University School of Medicine, he returned to Madison for his oncology fellowship and was recruited to our faculty in 2010. For several years, Dr. Lubner has served as a mentor for Gunderson House, one of the 5 houses that cultivate community and well-being among our students. He is always deeply invested in the success of our students. At Match Day this year, he was seen jumping up and down with excitement as students announced their residency placements. Dr. Lubner's honors and awards include induction into the Gold Humanism Honor Society by student election and the Clinical Educator Award from UW Health. I want to personally thank Dr. Lubner for his outstanding service as a teacher, mentor, and role model for our students, and especially for his profound dedication to our patients. Please join me in welcoming him to the podium.
Thank you, Dean Golden, for that kind welcome. It is a real honor to speak with you today. So, God, stage lights are hot. Esteemed colleagues, honored guests, parents, and most importantly, the class of 2023. It was almost 20 years ago to the day that I was in your chair in oddly comfortable robes. And as Dean Golden mentioned, I was the graduation speaker that day as well, and my speech was primarily about medical words that made me laugh. And I think I nearly got the hook from Dean Farrell at the time for making a joke about the term indifferent gonad. I don't know, whatever you want to do. In what seems like a blink, right, you'll get it, it's there. It's there. Whatever. In what seems like a blink, a residency, a chief residency, fellowship, 3 children, and 13 years in practice later, I'm honored to speak with you today to celebrate your graduation from medical school. Perhaps I've matured. Perhaps it's the times we live in. Perhaps it was furious, unsolicited editing from today's directors. But there will be fewer jokes about gonads this time around. But don't mistake my seriousness for, indifference. As I was preparing this speech, I was thinking about what an incredible, chaotic, influential experience you've had over the last 4 years. Every class of students that enters medical school undergoes a true metamorphosis from student to doctor, culminating in today, when we finally get to reveal to you the secrets of our profession that are critical for you to know before you begin residency. We recorded those secrets for last year's class, so you'll find a link to it on Canvas. Canvas links, Zoom lectures, and asynchronous learning experiences were necessities of the pandemic that have made what intended to be the team-building experience of med school occasionally isolating and disillusioning. And I want to take a moment during this day of celebration and reflection to offer my sadness that your medical school experience was so profoundly affected by events outside of any of our control. What happened in the last 4 years was not what we wanted for any of you. But we tried to make the best of it, and you made the best of it, and we overcame that challenge together. During this transformative time in medicine, all of us were challenged intellectually trying to solve this riddle of the pandemic and how to provide optimal patient care. And professionally, it was a challenge to provide care to an increasingly skeptical public who believed their social media feeds rather than us. Personally, in my own family life, I was challenged by the realization that I am a serviceable medical educator, but I am a terrible 5th grade math teacher. I was challenged emotionally. As an oncologist, I don't want to count the number of times that I knew I was seeing someone for the last time, and I couldn't give them a hug. I could only click leave call. Each of us learned to cope with these challenges in different ways. For some, it was learning the guitar. For some, it was sourdough starters. Remember those? But for me, it was watching the streaming show Ted Lasso. And without belaboring plot points and hashtag no spoilers, I haven't watched this week's episode. The central tenet is an American football turned English football coach whose fundamental message to his team is believe, embodied by a sign over the locker room door. Believe was a constant, a testament to confidence, self-improvement, and persistence. Ted Lasso was at his best when he took moments of tragedy and loss and turned them into moments of inspiration through the simple mantra of believe. I found the show particularly restorative because in medicine we face moments of tragedy and loss all the time, and belief may be all we have to sustain us. Sometimes it is the belief that we have the right answer for the patient and thus the right treatment. Sometimes it is the belief that the thing we are about to do is hard in the short term, but it will make our patients' lives better. But always, it is the belief that we have been well trained to be exactly what our patient needs in that moment. Belief is more than a symbol. It is a guiding principle, both soccer and medicine. And to quote Coach Lasso, Belief doesn't happen because you hang a sign on the wall. It comes from in here, up here, down. You have to have the belief in hope, the belief that things can get better, that I can get better, that we will get better. To believe in yourself, to believe in one another, that's fundamental to being alive. What has given me so much to believe in the past 4 years is you. When we shut everything down and went all virtual in a hurry, you adapted on the fly. In a week, I was there for Human Family Tree, and you were ready for whatever came next. And when the world was trying to make sense of injustice and the murder of an unarmed black man, it was you standing on the steps of the Capitol demanding change. As COVID case counts rose and people were scared to come to work, you were messaging whoever you could to provide whatever clinical or scientific care you could. Remember contact tracing? Right? And when it came time to come back to work, you were ready to contribute to the team. And I'm so proud of each of you that you made the most of this time, because at any point during the last 4 years, you could have turned back. You could have said, this isn't what I signed up for, and no one would blame you. But you didn't. Rather, you asked the simple, fundamental question it means to be a great doctor. What can I do to help? And you believed that you could. That's not in the Canvas link, guys, but that's the secret. I believe that I'm out of time for today, class of 2023. Thank you for granting me the honor of speaking with you today. And as you move on to the next phase of your career, I'm certain that in your hearts is a mix of excitement, unease, fear, or whatever social scientists call imposter syndrome. But know this, you are no one's imposter. You've got this. I believe in you. We believe in you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sam. Each year, the graduates select a classmate to speak on their behalf at this ceremony. The class of 2023 has chosen Nasser Lubega. Nasser's hometown is Kampala, the capital of Uganda, and as he will share with you, his life has taken many interesting twists and turns. He graduated cum laude from the University of St. Thomas in St. Paul, Minnesota, with a degree in biochemistry before joining us for medical school. During his time with us, he has been elected to the Gold Humanism Honor Society and active in our chapter of the Student National Medical Association, a group dedicated to addressing the health needs of underserved communities and communities of color. In addition to his engagement in research and volunteer service, Nasser has devoted significant effort to mentoring young people, particularly young Black students. Nasser has numerous interesting hobbies and talents. Building on his strength in languages and cultural exchange, he founded our Medical French Interest Group. He is a talented poet and published 2 poems in our school's literary arts journal. We share his excitement as he prepares to begin his residency in otolaryngology at Southern Illinois University School of Medicine. Thank you, Nasser, for all you have done for our school and for the Global Village. Please join me in welcoming almost Dr. Nasser to the podium.
I am not nervous. Thank you for that warm introduction, Dean Golden. Dear friends, family, and fellow graduates, I am humbled and honored to be standing before you today, representing the medical school class of 2023, as we celebrate the culmination of our journey together. I'd like to acknowledge the resilience and dedication it has taken for each of us to get here, particularly given the challenges of the past few years. As a member of this class, I must say that it has been quite a journey. It seems like only yesterday we were gathered in here for our white coat ceremony. From those initial days as enthusiastic students in the before times, to witnessing our transformation into confident, skilled medical professionals, it's evident that we have tenaciously endured the unprecedented times. Undoubtedly, we have much to be proud of. I remember the moment during our first year when the administration told us to stay home for the second half of our spring semester. We could not have foreseen the scale of the problem, and hardly anyone was ready for a tragedy of this magnitude. We observed how uncertainty, fear, and misinformation uncovered our lowest human tendencies. We saw our neighbors defy and reject public health guidance. We saw some stockpiling of toilet paper and hand sanitizer. And then sadly, we saw the scapegoating of our Asian brothers and sisters. At the same time, we witnessed the immense sacrifices of our fellow medical providers, our teachers, community leaders, first responders, and the extraordinary resourcefulness and kindness from people of all social classes. As the entire world was grappling with the COVID-19 crisis, we were shaken by a second resounding cry for justice after the murder of George Floyd in May of 2020. We bore witness to our nation and the global community steadily engaging in the very difficult business of looking honestly in the mirror and putting words to experiences that are so layered in complexity and real human pain that could no longer be ignored. As a class, we too wrestled with a profound impact of loss on our lives. We experienced the loss of our livelihoods, clinical rotations, educational and research opportunities. We experienced the loss of patients we were taking care of, and in some instances, our very own beloved loved ones. However, we also found creative ways to support each other. We featured our pets on Zoom. We shared recipes with each other. We engaged and made a point of engaging in weekly icebreakers before class. And most importantly, we normalized the conversation around open discussions around mental health and well-being. Personally, the pandemic period took a heavy toll on me, as I grieved the passing of several dear family members from afar, including my grandfather. His passing left a gaping chasm in my heart, and without the grace and unwavering support of so many of you here today, I could not have made it to graduation. And so from the deepest parts of my heart, thank you very much. So I've found that looking carefully at turbulent times can be quite instructive. So I invite you to journey with me to a period of my life right before coming to the U.S. I moved from my home in Uganda to Kenya to attend an international boarding school, which marked my first true encounter with a global community. In my small class of roughly 50 students, we had over 20 nationalities represented. This was a trend that held true throughout the school, and in fact, as a testament to our globalism, the school hung a flag for every country represented from the gate up until the dormitories. Boarding school, much like medical school, comes with a community of peers that we don't get to select ourselves. In boarding school life, we spent all hours of the day and night together. This made conflict an inescapable reality. Some disagreements were trivial, such as which cultures had the most bizarre dishes. I still hold that the idea of eating a caterpillar does not sit well with me, but in the same breath, I will strongly defend my own people's obsession with eating fried grasshoppers. But some conflict went deeper, as was the case of two young boys whose countries were on opposing sides of a war, and yet circumstance called for them to not only cohabitate, but to find a place of shared humanity and kindness. We learned that in community it is crucial to prioritize humility, open communication, and critical examination of ideas over our entrenched dogmas. This approach fostered our personal growth by deepening our understanding of the world and promoting open dialogue for meaningful discussions, even when considering seemingly absurd ideas. In our world of increasing complexity, our generation of physicians will be uniquely positioned to lead and safeguard our core values, not only as professionals, but most importantly as human beings. We will need to continue to embrace technology and innovation, but my hope is that we remember that at our core, we are a part of an interconnected community. Belonging is the soul food, the lifeblood from which compassion and empathy grow. And only with compassion and empathy can we endure the challenges that lie ahead. So in closing, I want to congratulate all my fellow graduates. It has been an honor to share this journey with you, and I look forward to seeing the many ways in which you will continue to make a difference in this world. Be kind, to yourselves especially, and never underestimate the power of love, connection, and open dialogue in bettering our world. So congratulations, doctors. Congratulations, future colleagues. Congratulations, forever friends. Let's get out of here.
Thank you, Nasser. Dr. Dawn Elfenbein and Dr. Maxfield Flynn have been selected by the class to participate in the investiture portion of the ceremony. They are deeply respected and inspirational teachers and mentors. Will you please come forward? They will be performing the ceremonial hooding of each student as they cross our stage. Dr. Gwen McIntosh, Associate Dean for Students, and Dr. Shobina Cheda, Associate Dean for Medical Education, will read each student's name. Drs. McIntosh and Cheda, will you please present the candidates for graduation?
Thank you, Dean Golden. Dr. Cheda and I will both read out the names of the graduates here today. Dean Golden and distinguished faculty, we present the following candidates for the conferral of the degree, Doctor of Medicine, starting with our student speaker, Nasser Lubega. Marina Adriansen Fonseca. Bayan El-Zubi. Rachel Anderson. Rory Bade. Andrew Blink. Colin Boyle. Felix Braun. Matthew Broadhead. Jamie Brown. Brett Robert Bukowski. William Bull. Rachel Caniza. Leah Cha. Elliot Chang. Bikram Singh Chahal. Sarah Crawford. Sarah Marie Daggett. Brady Dangleser. Claire Deforcran de Coiselet. Jennifer Marie Dietzel. Ton Chi Duan. Riley Doucette. Zachary Ryan Dunton. Devin Durgan. Isaac Zubay. Colin Ellenbecker. Cami Lynn Elzinga. Elma Farouk. Juanita Hernandez. Alyssa Fleischman. Olivia Marie Ford. Annalise Free. Bailey Ilara Frizzell. Ryan Fugelstead. Carol Garcia. Trevor Andrew Gauthier. Samantha Gervais Leclerc. Mario Giacobassi. Brock Gilsdorf. Jonathan Gould. Alex Hayden. Holly Hiline. Megan Hoppy. Emily Hoyer. Bailey Hoosier. Kang Nin Huynh. Ton Nguyen. Alexander John Phelan Idaraga. Uyi Jefferson Emaswen. Justin Jagodinsky. Jacob Johnson. Olivia Johnson. Christine Johnston. Courtney Johnston. Christopher Caro. Arya Kandasari. Abish Karel. Jason Jungmin Kim. Tae-hee Kim. Colin Korleski. Patricia Krieger. Philip Kubica. Kelly Keel. Calvin Lamb. Sarah Lazarus. Jonathan Lay. Julia Lozen. Jasmine Nicole Love. I will now pass the name reading to Dr. Cheda.
Alexander Luera. Noah Mertz. David Martin. Congratulations. Mario Montabelli. Simone McLean. Anna McCachran. Cole James McDonald. Anna McGee. Lauren Esther McKay. Michael S. McKernan. Antonio Medina Huerta. Ghazan Jalil Mian. Harshita Mugalapalli. Megan Murphy Belcaster. Sharon Rose Narte. Angmang Nihal. Rebecca Jordan Nye. Stephanie Mary Olson. Elena Patricia Padilla. Sarvesh Periaswamy. Frank Perkins. Alec Pereira. Lubina Petrovska. Ernesto Polania Gonzalez. Hemant Potluri. Vince Perzowski. Mia Prifty. Simerjeeth Puri. Gregory J. Raup. Curran Renner. Shauna Rivendell. Jaylyn Roberson. Amy Rothwell. Sydney Elena Rosenfeld. Marwa Salamin. Madeline Margaret Sass. Maria Schletzbaum Bowler. Sydney Apollonia Schmidt. Emily Jane Schmitz. Marissa Schapp. Natalie Shudrowitz. Lulu Shauna. Samantha Libby Shapiro. Amber Maria Sheth. Zoe Schultz. Grigor Simityan. Clayton J. Skogman. Bradley Stelter. Rebecca Striggins. Christopher Rufus Sweeney. Alex P. Tannenbaum. Tariq Terrell. Spencer Paul True. Harjo Upal. Catherine Van S. Comp. Claire Vandenhavel. Kong Peter Vang. Alicia Vang. Quinn Vatland. Megan Waluziak. Emmy Wanjiku. Max Wetzel. Ian L. Wolf. Jessica F. Wolfson. Casey Wood Matabelli. Miguel Woodham. Sue Yun Yi. Nicholas A. Zacharias. And that concludes the reading of the graduates' names. Congratulations, graduates. I now return the program to Dean Golden.
Thank you so much, Drs. McIntosh, Cheda, Elfenbein, and Flynn. It's a pleasure to welcome Dr. Elizabeth Petty, our Senior Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, who will administer the Declaration of Geneva.
As we enter into this sacred covenant, I would like to remind you that the Declaration of Geneva is a modern version of the Hippocratic Oath. This declaration was developed by the World Medical Association in 1948. Following World War II, the Nuremberg trials revealed the widespread and horrendous misuse of medical power to conduct torture and mass murder. The Declaration has been updated to reflect the evolution of social norms. These principles continue to unite physicians throughout the world. They remind us of our highest aspirations. The class of 2023 will now take the Declaration of Geneva as their solemn oath. Graduates, the oath is on page 29 of your program. Please find that and please stand. We will recite the oath together. At the time of being admitted as a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to consecrate my life to the service of humanity. I will give to my teachers the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. The health of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will maintain by all the means in my power the honor and the noble traditions of the medical profession. My colleagues will be my family. I will not permit consideration of age, disease, or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affliction, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you, graduates. Congratulations, and I'll pass the program back to Dr. Golden.
Doctors, you may now be seated. Thank you, Dr. Petty. Traditionally, we invite an alumni leader to welcome you into the wonderful world of the Wisconsin Medical Alumni Association. I am delighted to introduce Dr. Kyla Lee to share her reflections on this exciting day from her perspective as president of the Wisconsin Medical Alumni Association Board of Directors. Dr. Lee, please come forward.
So appreciate it, Dean Golden. Congratulations, doctors. What an exciting day for the University of Wisconsin School of Medicine and Public Health class of 2023. I have seen your work. I have seen your work as champions and advocates at the bedside, and as curious and cooperative learners, and most importantly, as people driven to help others. You will shape the future of healthcare. This is the class, so driven, you are known for the 5 a.m. workout crew. Dubbed the unicorn class, you are known as individuals, yet heartfelt companions. And in Green Bay, you started the day and steeled yourself for neurosurgical cases with favorite baked oatmeal pies. As you celebrate your tremendous accomplishments today with your family and loved ones, I am honored to be the first to welcome you to another family, the Wisconsin Medical Alumni Association, or as you know it, the WMAA. The WMAA smiled joyfully with you as you donned your first white coats and as you received your first red stethoscopes, donated by a physician who wanted you to feel welcomed and supported at the start of your medical path. And we were there for what was possibly your first photo with Bucky. The pandemic changed our FaceTime together, and yet whether delivering meals for unfazed or gift bags of locally sourced products, the kind and caring WMAA crew found ways to reach you, support you, know we have been with you these past years. It is a great honor for me to be here today as you conclude this chapter. I know it has been a difficult one, but speaking as someone who finished medical school 25 years ago, I can assure you it's a chapter you'll revisit over the years. Every day, our staff at WMA and Student Services thinks about how they can serve you. So please thank them today during the reception and stop by the WMA tables and introduce your family and friends to all of us. Here are some great ways to stay connected to us. Follow WMA on Instagram and Facebook and message us with those photo updates. Read the quarterly magazine and share your news. Volunteer with our Student Alumni Partnership Program. Attend an event in your community with fellow alumni. Come back for homecoming and reunions. Consider serving on the WMA board down the road. Pay it forward. Donate a stethoscope to a first year. As you move forward in your careers, you have an important choice to make a difference. Reach back and be the encouragement and support you needed on those harder days. In the words of Ted Lasso and Sam Lubner, be the believe. You will take this incredibly hard-earned education and change lives at the bedside, in research labs, and serving vulnerable populations. On behalf of the Wisconsin Medical Alumni Association and all those who came before you, you have my sincere congratulations, and I wish you all the best on your adventures ahead. Welcome to our family. Stay in touch, and on Wisconsin. Thank you, Dean Golden.
Thank you, Dr. Lee. Well, we have come to the close of our ceremony. I want to thank all of you for sharing in this joyful celebration. My deep thanks to all who worked hard to make today's ceremony possible. I invite everyone to join us for a reception co-sponsored by the Wisconsin Medical Alumni Association and the School of Medicine and Public Health. The reception will be held here at the Memorial Union in both the Great Hall on the 4th floor and the Tripp Commons on the 2nd floor. The Great Hall is a large open space with plenty of room for gathering and photos. And for those who want to take advantage of the weather, such as it is, Tripp Commons has a great outdoor deck overlooking the terrace. You and your families are invited to proceed to either the Great Hall or Tripp Commons, or both. Please remain in your seats until the conclusion of the recessional. Now, in addition to recognizing our new physicians, we also want to acknowledge everyone who helped them achieve their success. Parents and grandparents, spouses and siblings, other family members, teachers and friends. Will the class of 2023 please stand and face the audience? I now ask the class of 2023 to recognize these folks. Again, congratulations to the graduates of our amazing class of 2023. Best wishes for continued success, and on Wisconsin.